A few days ago, I received my Valaverse Action Force prototype armament set, along with my set of Valaverse Action Force comics. And I was so impressed with these weapons that I just had to make a video about it. So are you ready to take a look at these weapons? Because it's time for action.
Come with me, toy fans.
Hey toy fans, my name is Tony and welcome back to the Analog Toys YouTube channel. And today we're taking a look at the Valaverse Action Force prototype weapon set. While many of us have our first wave of Valaverse Action Force figures on pre-order, the company has offered up this prototype armament set to kind of whet our appetite while we're waiting for the full line to arrive. And the weapons included in this set are highly detailed, accurate representations of modern military weaponry. And the first thing I really want to discuss is the type of plastic that Valaverse has used for these weapons. All of these weapons have been moulded in a plastic called ABS, which is a much harder and more rigid plastic than PVC, which is the product used by Hasbro when they make weapons for the G.I. Joe Classifieds line. With ABS being much harder and more rigid, this has enabled the sculptors to get far more fine detail into the moulding of these weapons. And the rigidity also means that they don't get bent when stored in the packaging. Take for example this image of a G.I. Joe Classified Duke. And look at the bend in his barrel, it's ridiculous, and this is caused by the use of PVC plastic. And this rifle has not warped with excessive play, this would have came straight out of the packaging like this. But you don't get this type of issue with the Valaverse weapons pack. Now these Action Force prototype armament sets sell for $30 each, and the set includes 35 pieces. And I'm not going to go through every single weapon, but rest assured there are a variety of different pistols and some small bladed weapons. Although it is really cool to see Han Solo here armed with a shotgun and a tomahawk. But the thing I'm most interested in are the submachine guns and the assault rifles. First of all, we have this really cool looking Heckler & Koch MP7 submachine gun. And this just looks perfect when you give it to your Snake Eyes action figure, because this is the weapon that the character carried in the G.I. Joe Retaliation movie. And another submachine gun included in the pack here is this 9mm Heckler & Koch MP5. But once you move up in caliber from the 9mm to the 5.56, you actually get removable magazines. And it's little fine details like this that make a military enthusiast like myself get really excited about the products that are coming out of Valaverse. You know, the fact that you can take this carbine here with the underslung 40mm grenade launcher and actually remove the magazine gives you a much wider variety of posability with your figures. You can actually set the figure in a magazine changing pose. But for me, the two standout weapons in this pack are the 40mm grenade launcher and the M249 squad assault weapon. This 40mm grenade launcher is just badass and even features a functional revolving chamber. And I mean, just look how awesome this weapon looks in Destro's hands. But now we get to the M249 squad assault weapon, also known as the SAW. This weapon comes in three parts. There is a forward mounted bipod and the ammunition box, which can be fitted in two different ways. But it's important to note that the way I've got it attached here is the correct method, where the ammunition belt would come out of this side of the ammunition box and move into the chamber of the assault weapon. A detail that is missing off the SAW is the fact that it doesn't have a carry handle. And I'm unsure if Bobby Valor is going to rectify this with later additions, but I kind of do understand why they were not able to have the carry handle on this. Because most likely it would have had to have been a separate injection molded piece that would then need to be kind of glued on. But despite that minor detail, this weapon system is highly accurate to the real thing. And I would know because I have extensive experience using this belt-fed weapon system. I was trained in its use in the British Special Forces, and even during my time working private security in Iraq, we used to carry these in the front and rear vehicle of each convoy. And the weapon system could be used to put down a heavy rate of fire if so required. Now you'll notice that all the weapons I've shown you so far are moulded in black plastic and they don't have any paint job. Well, let me assure you that the weapons that are coming out in the first wave of Action Force are painted weapons. The good thing with this though is that it allows you to customise them. And I am far from a model painting type expert, and I actually think I kind of messed up a bit here in my attempt to paint this AK. But I am very pleased with the results I got here when I painted this Ruger AR assault rifle. And I'm also quite impressed with my handiwork here painting the Scar. But if there is one weapon that I would like to see introduced into the Valaverse Action Force toy line, that would be a Spec Ops M4. And Bobby, I know you're bringing out an M4 in Series 2, but please, just for me, can we get an M4 without a silencer? Because in the British Army, we didn't like to carry silencers because we like to go loud, as they say. And the M4 was always my preferred weapon of choice. I am incredibly impressed with the accuracy and attention to detail that's on display here, and these packs are still available on the Valaverse.com website. So if you like to customise your 1:12 scale military styled action figures, you definitely need to pick up an Action Force prototype armament set. But if I had to mention one disappointing aspect here, it's that while we're waiting for the Valaverse Action Force figures to arrive, I unfortunately have to display these weapons on Hasbro's G.I. Joe classified figures. So thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to check out our video about the Valaverse Action Force toy line, you can click here. Or to check out our Action Force playlist, you can click down here. I'm Tony from Analog Toys, and I'll see you in the next video.